So this is my dash blank, and as you can see, these black circles and things are mock-ups for the various switches and lamps that I've actually got. And of course, one of the restrictions I've got is the air conditioning unit, which is behind the dash here. So it basically means the middle section is too shallow to accept anything with a significant depth to it. I think I could probably get something that thick maximum. Basically it excludes all the warning lamps and all the switches and all the dials. I have an idea that it might be something possible to do something with the air control flaps, but for now this is what I've come up with. So we have all these switches, and the dials are the larger circles, like that one. That one can go in there because there's a bit of a sculpted out section from the aircon unit behind. Hence you can see the pencil mark, maybe you can see the pencil mark where I've kind of estimated where the aircon unit occupies. And so I'm making the best use of the space I've got, really. Yeah, you could say that's quite a traditional layout. You could say that's quite a traditional layout, and yeah, maybe it is, but that's no bad thing, I think. So, but obviously I can have multiple goes at cutting this dash blank out if it happens to be wrong. But obviously I don't really want to do that. So that's what the templating is all about. One thing that's quite good is the views through the steering wheel. I'm going to put you in line with where my head would be, so I can see most things through the steering wheel. And I think that although this is a Vauxhall steering wheel, another one would be quite similar. So similar in size, that is. So that the layout, visibility and all that is quite good. So I think I might be just on the point of cutting some stuff out. Well, I've been trying various tools, or considering various tools, with regards to cutting holes in my dash blank, and I've been having some success. And one thing I will say, I didn't even consider using something like that with its various attachments. They're just too wobbly. But what I did use was this thing. Remarkably effective, actually. So that I've had goes at a main hole for the speedometer, so the main hole for a speedometer or rev counter, like that. A hole for one of the smaller gauges, which in this case is oil pressure. Now 55 is actually too big, so 53 is more like it. And then we have these small switches and lamps. Now I did consider whether I could use the same cutting tool, but it doesn't go down small enough. So I pulled out of kind of retirement. Well, actually, I don't think it's ever been used before. A 22, is this the right size for these switches? A 22mm flat wood bit. Each of these, by the way, being used in my pillar drill, which I had to set up, make sure it was level, among other things. But yeah, I think you can see that the quality of the fit of these holes, not that one, this one, is pretty good. So now I need to kind of bite the bullet and mark up the real dash blank and cut some holes in it. So this is my dash blank, and I'm kind of starting easily with the smaller holes, which I have marked out just to make sure they're in a straight line and so on. And we'll see how that goes then. I've already drilled pilot holes. Okay, it's pretty good, but we're missing one because I couldn't get it to go into the drill platform. Two, actually. Three, in fact. How did I just miss that? Let's just see if I can. No, can't get that in there. No, can't get that in there either. Alright, they will have to be done with a hand drill. There we go. Slightly, platform's too low now. Let's let go. That's the last one of those. Looking good so far. Now you might have noticed a mistake here. I drilled these two holes out here thinking they were lamps. In fact, they were the core holes for the main dials. So somehow I'm going to have to fix that. Not sure how. I need to put the centre back in so that I can then drill it out again. And I won't be doing it freehand. I resolved the problem with the fact that I drilled the centres out with these blocks of MDF stuff, which I've glued on the back with hot glue gun. So I've already done a lot of this, but I shall do a little bit more. And then see if I can get the other side. To be honest, this whirly thing is a bit frightening. This is kind of suboptimal. Perhaps I'll see if I can go through completely from one side after all. finally that one comes out. Oh. Yeah, would have been better by far not to have to back the hole up like that. That's the core sample. And now the other side. Slightly more of an ordeal than it should have been. But how do those holes look? Oh, yes. Right, I'm just going to whiz up with a buffing wheel. Or standing drum, whatever. And a smaller one for the switch holes. Right, so I'm just going to use a Dremel thing to tidy up the small holes. It looks like I'm going to have to cut these down. They're too tall. Alright, I'll come back to that. And finally, well, finally for now, this is how it looks. Now if you look very carefully, you might see a couple of errors, but it'll certainly do for now. The next thing I need to do is sort this screen out. But yeah, isn't it looking kind of realistic, eh?